And good Sunday morning. Matt Ray sitting in KGO Radio 810. We're taking your calls at 415-808-0810. 8080-810 is the number. The question is, should the NBA settle with Donald Sterling to make its dirty laundry go away? This is amazing. Now, if you've been following this, we all know the just disgusting remarks that Donald Sterling made on tape. We know that. We know the NBA has banned him for life from the league. The owners are forcing him to sell. Donald Sterling came out and he said, "No problem. We'll go ahead and take care of this." But then the league said, "Too bad. We're not dropping your banned for life status." So Donald Sterling now has reportedly hired private investigators to dig up dirt on the NBA and its owners. And he's apparently going through with this. Multiple private investigation firms to look into alleged discriminatory conduct by fellow team owners and the NBA itself. That's according to a person familiar with Sterling's legal strategy. We're joined by Mazin Sbaiti. He is an attorney who's been following this closely. Mazin, good morning. Thanks for joining us again here on KGO.
Morning. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. So what do you make of this? Should the NBA settle with Donald Sterling to make the dirty laundry go away? Does Donald Sterling have a case in all of this?
I think what he's really doing is his big argument is, you're kicking me out for things I said in private that someone else made public. Let me find something on each of you owners of NBA teams that's private. I'll make it public, and let's see what you do then. It's an interesting strategy that he's going after. I don't know if he'll find anything, and I would be interested to see what the NBA owners get the NBA to do. I don't think they're going to settle with him, not for $1 billion or anything near it, but it may cause the NBA not to approve the sale of the team that Donald Sterling's wife tried to get with the Steve Ballmer group.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he was on board with selling the team, but then when the league came out and said, okay, fine, but we're still banning you for life and we're still going through with everything else, that's when he withdrew. That's when he refiled the lawsuit. That's when he said, "Too bad, we're not backing down." Is that correct?
That's my understanding. Either he refiled the lawsuit or reneged on the promise to dismiss the lawsuit. Either way, the lawsuit, according to him, is going forward. He did authorize his wife in a letter that was made public by TMZ, although he is a trustee of a family trust that his wife is co-trustee of. So the fact that he authorized her may not actually have that much legal significance in the long run in terms of whether that actually gave authority or whether he couldn't just withdraw that authority. But he's really muddied this up for himself, so I don't know how much of a leg he's going to have to stand on in the end. Everyone's going to be tired of him.
Do they even look into this guy's mental state?
They probably should. He was declared incompetent or unable to handle his affairs by his wife. The fact that they didn't do that through a legal proceeding, I think, was a tactical error. There are ways to declare someone mentally incompetent and to have what's called a guardian ad litem, which is a legal guardian for someone's affairs, and you can do it for the mentally incompetent. You also do it for children in lawsuits. I think that probably was something that should have been done, and they could probably try to go through now, although I believe it would be a lot more difficult right now. But certainly it seems to be an issue. According
to this article in CNN, these sources that they spoke to said these private investigators are looking into discrimination cases filed by African Americans and women targeting the NBA. Sterling's camp reportedly knows of at least 12 cases of alleged discrimination dating back to 2008, about half of which involved pregnant women who filed complaints against the league. And they're also going to try to dig up dirt where league owners made questionable remarks, including anything that would be considered sexist or racist. That, I mean, the league probably doesn't want that out there, I would think.
Absolutely not. And, the league is going to be suffering an unclean hands problem, which is that here they are trying to kick somebody out for making discriminatory remarks, whereas they obviously buried their own dirty laundry. So yeah. I think this is going to be a really powerful tactic for him, to be honest. We use it when we do cases. Somebody says there's a public piece of information that's bad, and we know they're hiding their own dirty laundry that makes them look just as bad. It's a powerful piece of PR, and it's going to be a powerful piece of evidence if this thing ever goes to court.
Why not does the NBA have a leg to stand on? Obviously, those tapes were made public. We all know what he said in that. But does the NBA have a leg to stand on considering Sterling's past? I mean, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, had said, look, I've been down this road before with him where he's gone back and forth on several different subjects, including selling the Clippers. Does the league have a leg to stand on if any of this information gets out.
I think the leg that they have to stand on is going to be one that is much more tied to the contract, and the trouble the league is going to have is not simply kicking him out. The leg that they're going to have to stand on is that he violated some measure of the contract. And his defense has always been, look, I didn't violate the league rules because I didn't say anything that was public. And if you're going to kick me out for something I said in private, that's where these investigators really come in. And I think the league is going to lose a lot of its moral authority and moral upper hand that it is claiming right now. And so I think the legal leg that they have to stand on is going to be weakened substantially if all this evidence comes out.
Well, I'm sorry. If I'm the league, I'm making this guy go away because the NBA has looked the other way with this guy for a long time. Now, not necessarily on Silver's watch, but the league as a whole has.
I agree. Well, it depends what it's going to take to get him to go away. They've already banned him for life. I don't see them unbanning him for life. That is too much of a face-blackening move on the league. They could withdraw their requirement that he sell the team and that be sort of the in-between settlement position compromise that the league takes to get him to back down. I don't see the league paying him any manner of cash damages, though, which is really what his lawsuit is about right now, that he's been damaged to the tune of $1 billion. I don't see them paying him off in that way.
Mazin Sbaiti, an attorney and legal expert we use here on KGO. We appreciate your time, Mazin. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, Matt. Have a good one.
All right,
Bye-bye.
take care. Should the NBA settle with Donald Sterling to make its dirty laundry go away? We'll talk about some of the cases this guy is digging into. Keep in mind, Donald Sterling is a former divorce attorney. I'm not calling divorce attorneys dirty, but those are some nasty fights. And these attorneys know how to dig into the other side. And that's exactly what Donald Sterling is doing now. So our question is, should the league settle to make its dirty laundry go away? I would think it would be in the best interest of the NBA, but doesn't care considering it's such a cash cow anyway. 415-808-0810 is the number, 808810. KGO News Time is 11:15. KGO, the place to turn for traffic on the fives. Jane St. John standing by at the KGO traffic desk.
KGO 810.
Taking your calls at 415-808-0810. 808810 is the number. Should the NBA settle with Donald Sterling to make its dirty laundry go away? LA Clippers owner Sterling hiring a team of lawyers and investigators to dig up dirt on the NBA's former and current commissioners and 29 other owners. This is not good for the NBA. This is not going to be good for the NBA. Will this Sterling story be so big, though, and this happens sometimes, is the Sterling story so big that maybe people will say, so what? Look at what you did. Person familiar saying the investigators are looking into whether other owners made any off-color jokes or racist, sexist remarks. Sterling suing for $1 billion, alleging that the league violated his constitutional rights by relying on information from an illegal recording. Now, remember, he was going to pull this stuff off the table, but then the league said, we're still going to force you to sell, and we're still banning you for life. So Sterling comes back and said, fine. We're going to prove that there's a history of this going on in the NBA. Let's go to Clyde on line one, who's been standing by. Good morning, Clyde. Should the NBA settle?
Yes, because there's some dirty laundry out there. If you remember years ago, Isaiah Thomas, his remarks about Larry Bird.
Oh, yeah.
He's a manager of the Knicks.
Well, Isaiah Thomas was the manager of the Knicks. You're right. He was the coach, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure there's others that we're not aware of.
Yeah. Well, Clyde, if you take a look at the biggest hypocrisy in all of this, in my opinion, is the fact that they had Kevin Johnson, the now mayor of Sacramento, come out and defend the players in this. I don't know if you're familiar with Kevin Johnson's past,
yes,
but just dig into that and take a look at the inappropriate relationships this guy reportedly had with underage girls. 415-808-0810 is the number, 808810. There is some hypocrisy going on throughout this, and I had said it didn't happen under Silver's watch, Adam Silver's watch, but Silver was in high-level positions when a lot of this was going on. One attorney telling ESPN, this attorney Bobby Samini, saying now his objective is to demonstrate for everybody that the NBA is a damn hypocrite. We're going to pull every case against the NBA, then we'll demonstrate that the culture of racism and gender discrimination is born at the NBA, where Adam Silver has worked in a high-level position for a long time. I think the league needs to just make this guy go away. Because you take a look at Sterling's past, this guy has been sued. He's been accused of being a slumlord, kicking people out because they were black, kicking people out because they were Latino. I mean, this guy is not a good person. He is a damned racist. But the league knew about all these cases, and they never did anything until this tape aired, until this recording aired, and everybody was shocked. Everybody, I should say, outside of the sporting world. Granted, he went after Magic Johnson. That's not cool if you're in the NBA. If you're an NBA follower, that's just not cool. You don't do that. Magic Johnson is like an icon. And so a lot of people were outraged about that, too. I'm not saying I was, but a lot of people were outraged about that, too. And just go back and listen to his remarks. They're shocking. And a lot of the tape wasn't played. What we call just the meaty parts, just the juicy parts were played. Go back and listen to the rest of the tape. It's pretty shocking. It's pretty amazing. He's also going after his estranged wife's attorneys in probate court. Set for July, the probate court hearing centers on whether Shelley Sterling had the right to unilaterally negotiate a $2 billion deal to sell the Clippers to Steve Ballmer. Her attorney said she made the deal as the sole administrator of the family trust, which owns the team, after two doctors determined her husband was mentally incapacitated. He's fighting that conclusion and her authority to sell the team. At some point, you just got to wash your hands of this guy. Adam Silver was interviewed by CNN last weekend, I believe, and he said, "I'm not worried about it because I've been down this road with Sterling before." Okay, well, that could be used against him, too, in my opinion. I'm not a legal expert, but if you've been down this road with him before, why wasn't anything done in the past? 415-808-0810 is the number, 808810. The firms will be engaged in an audition of sorts, the individual told ESPN. Whoever delivers the best material, these are the investigative firms, is going to stay on for the next round, and it might be all four of them. 29 owners is not a small undertaking. I mean, they're taking a look at situations with the Suns, the Phoenix Suns. They're taking a look at sexist allegations, discrimination allegations. They're digging into everything. And think about the money Sterling's worth. Think about the money this guy has to spend on the investigations. We're not talking about Ace Ventura, Pet Detective here. This guy probably has some pretty high-profile PIs working for him. My opinion, make it go away. Wash your hands of this guy, settle with him, come to some sort of an agreement saying, look, just go away. We'll drop the lifetime ban. You can sell the team who you want to, but please just go away. 415-808-0810 is the number, 808810. Steve on line one. Good morning, Steve. What's your take on this?
Hey there. Yeah, well, it's what he said was despicable, no doubt about it. I think
Sure.
From a legal perspective, though, what he said was in private. If it were a court case, it wouldn't be legally admissible. That's one thing. But what I want to bring to the table is that the other NBA owner, Jay-Z, the rapper, husband of Beyonce, there's a picture of him wearing an emblem. There's an article about it, April 6th in the New York Post. The emblem is of a group called the Five Percenters. And the Five Percenters is a group. It's a racist group that believes, and it says that white people are the devil, the Christian God is false, and that's a fact. And
Yeah.
it's like if an owner were to come wearing a swastika or a KKK uniform, they would be immediately, attacked as a racist. How come there's nothing about this with Jay-Z? And it's
just to be factual, Jay-Z no longer owns the Nets. He because he decided to start managing athletes. The league said you can't have it both ways, so he's done. But was he wearing that shirt while he was owning the team? While he owned the team?
He just look it up. Jay-Z emblem, and he's on the front row at the Nets game on April 6th.
So that'll come out. That'll probably come out.
Well, the point is, let's be fair on what's going on. And second of all, sure, Donald Sterling is a despicable character. We all agree that. But I'm concerned as an American that something said in private that is illegally obtained can now be used to prosecute you. And the other question is, how come the girlfriend isn't being prosecuted? Because in the state of California, you can't record a private conversation without one party's consent. So how come she hasn't been prosecuted? Because that's a violation of state law as well.
And Steve, your concern is his basis for he says, look, you violated my constitutional rights by busting me on this private conversation. Steve, I appreciate the call. We're up against the clock. Matt Ray, KGO Radio 810.